This was a really interesting experience. Obviously, tea is very widely enjoyed in the UK, and yet I never gave a great deal of thought to where it might come from. It was only when I thought about how the process of hand-picking tea leaves hasn't changed that I remembered I'm here to learn about the Shanxi merchants and the journey they would have taken hundreds of years ago. I'm here in Xiaomei village, and this place is absolutely amazing. This is where, 300 years ago, a group of merchants from Shanxi province made pioneering innovations in global trade. Coming down here to this tea-producing region from an inland province that does not produce tea, they took these products, transported them north, and then sent them on to the rest of the world. This was a really ingenious move and allowed them, as I said, to really pioneer early globalization. This is the starting point of the Wanli Chadao, or the 10,000-kilometer tea route. This route was established in the 17th century by the Shanxi merchants and extended north for around 13,000 kilometers, well into countries like Russia and the rest of Europe.
This is
第一个，这个非常好喝。
来喝一下第二个，
是第二个。这个好串儿。
几百年前，我祖上就和山西晋商做生意了。那当年夏梅它是一个茶市。 那山西的茶商来这选茶的时候，那我们周家就把上好的银茶的茶样放在这个样柜当中，那他们呢就从这样柜当中在这里试喝，喝中完以后，他就是下单，然后把样品带走。
Mr. Zhou was really excited to share the stories of the Shanxi merchants with me. These processes haven't changed for hundreds of years, so I really felt like I was doing exactly what the Shanxi merchants would have been doing 300 years before.
这个地方就是我们清代的古茶园，就是我听我伯父说啊，夏梅曾经是一个很封闭的地方，茶叶能走出去，靠的就是晋商。
The Jinglong Wharf by the banks of the Meiji River over the years has witnessed a great deal. First of all, the hard work of the Shanxi merchants, and subsequently the prosperity that work brought here to Meizhuan village. This is where, hundreds of years ago, boxes of tea would start on their long journey, travelling along the tea road to every corner of the world, where they would have set off on small boats transporting their tea. I'm reminded of many of the other great explorers from history. The UK also has a long history in this time period of sailors leaving for many, many months or years at a time. And we associate that with a kind of nobility or a kind of courage. I'm reminded also of the likes of Marco Polo or Christopher Columbus. I think the story of the Shanxi merchants is less well known than all of these, and that's why I think it's really important to visit these places and really give some thought to the tremendous journeys they undertook, covering great distances at great cost to themselves and indeed great danger.
这是我手上拿的这个叫筛子，这个步骤叫摇青。
摇青，
哎。
All those years ago, to ensure the quality of the tea, the Shanxi merchants implemented high standards and meticulous oversight of the entire production process.
我可以试一下吗？
可以啊。
This attention to detail and commitment to quality earned them a reputation for honesty and trustworthiness in the Wuishan area, far from their homeland.
好玩，得称有一次。
这个动作一下很难做出来的。
我已经累了。
来，还给我吧。
好。
Even today, after 300 years, there are still many descendants of the Shanxi merchants who maintain the legacy of their ancestors and have continued their business practices. In this way, they truly also continue the spirit of the Shanxi merchants.
我听说镇上有1斤1两茶的故事。
对，是的，因为当年祖先运输条件有限，所以我们要保证运到客人手里面要足斤足两，但是因为有损耗，所以它要多加1两。
你们还在做一样的事情吗？
我们现在也依旧在做这样的事儿。我们有一款包装就是这样做的。我们现在可以把这个罐子现场拆开，然后我们再去称一下，看它到底有多少茶。
哦，好了。
你看，我们已经清零了，然后我们现在开始称一下。
所以这个茶应该是多重？
它应该是125克，再加要大于125克。您看，已经140克，超过125克了。所以这个就是我们晋商1斤1两茶的故事得来的。作为晋商的后裔呢，我希望能够像祖先一样，向国际贸易方向去发展。
真了不起。
其实就像武夷山是万里茶路的起点一样，那诚信呢，就是我们晋商精神的起点。
I assumed we'd be looking at historical documents or hearing from a historian or something like that. But I've been very surprised to find there's still a great deal of tangible evidence here. Evidence that reveals to us how the merchants lived their lives, how they conducted their business, and more importantly, what values they held. It also reflects an old Chinese saying, which goes something like, if you lose something now and have no expectation of getting it back in the future, you'll receive some kind of blessing. This represents the fundamental principles of the merchants and the spirit that enabled them to cultivate deep and meaningful relationships all along their trade routes.
走近走了，撞到开桥，撞到上赛，撞到鬼女国，去人